All right, guys, welcome back. Step 5, last step in the process. All right, if you remember, we had this period 1 spreadsheet with all of our data on it. We made a copy of the spreadsheet and eliminated the data fields that we didn't need so that we can make a pivot table. We've got 2 other data sets on here which we can make a pivot table out of. If you wanted to make a pivot table out of section 1.1 interests, you would do exactly the same thing that we just did. You would highlight the column, you would go to data, you would split the text to columns, and then you would cut and paste each one of these columns into a new tab to make a pivot table. I just showed you how to do that. It's the exact same process. I'm not going to do it again. I hope you get the idea. Let me delete these guys, get them out of the way. Okay. Let's talk about this last data set you have right here. Okay. Section 2.1 on the PLP is the learner inventory. And most kids selected just one option, one choice, or maybe 2 choices. But this is a lot easier to create a pivot table out of because you don't have 7 or 8 different entries all jammed together in one cell. I can make a pivot table very easily straight from this screen. Watch what I do. I highlight the whole table just like last time. I go to data. I select pivot table just like last time. I come over to rows just like last time. Okay. And I want the field that I'm looking for to be their learner inventory. Okay. So here are my options. I can see that some of my students are auditory learners. Some are auditory and tactile. Some are only visual. Some are visual and auditory. Some are only tactile. Some don't know. Okay. But I've got all my fields right there. Okay. Oops. I'm going to go over. I'm going to add a row just like last time. I'm going to select my student's first name just like last time. Okay. And now, I don't know what this is up here. Let's hide this. Let's hide that too. I'm not sure what's going on with that guy. Okay. Now, look at what I see about my class. Okay. In my first period class, Hayden has indicated, based on the learning inventory that he did prior to completing this section of the PLP, his learning inventory revealed to him that he's an auditory learner. Okay. Meredith is an auditory and a tactile learner. Okay. Alexis feels as though she's primarily visual, but look at this right here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, what is that? Maybe 10 kids who are visual and tactile learners. That's the bulk of my first period class. So that tells me I've got a lot of kids who rely heavily on learning with their eyes and learning with their hands. I need to design some instruction in my first period class that taps into the needs of the majority of my learners. Okay? Very easily, I can start to make some informed decision about the needs of my learners based on this simple pivot table. Okay? Again, I'm going to want to rename this bad boy down here. So instead of pivot table 5, I'm going to rename it 2.1 because it's section 2 of the PLP and it's the first question. And I'm going to rename it learning style. Again, I'm going to color code it, make it red because I know everything that's red is my first period. Okay. So now I can see I've got a pivot table about my student talents. I've got a pivot table about learning styles. Okay. This spreadsheet right here, this is a copy of period 1. I don't need this spreadsheet anymore. I can delete this spreadsheet and it's not going to screw up anything else. So I'm going to delete this bad boy. Okay. Now I've got all the data I need. Here's all my information for my first period class and then a couple pivot tables to go along with my first period class. Okay. That's the nuts and bolts of a pivot table. I know that it probably seems like it's going to take you forever. I tried to go slow so that you would hopefully have less confusion and it would be easy for you to understand what I was trying to show you. I promise, once you do this a couple of times, you can make a pivot table in 5-6 minutes. It really doesn't take that long once you do it a couple of times and you get it under your belt. I'm happy to help you. Please reach out to me if you need some support. Your instructional coaches can help you. We want to make sure that you are equipped with the strategies you need to get into your PLP data so that you can use it in a usable way to start informing some classroom practices and help you make some instructional decisions about your learners. So hopefully you found this training module helpful, and best of luck. Thanks.